Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now I know we always do train sets and that's my favourite thing to do. I don't usually put up reviews of locos or rolling stock. I did a few years ago, but I kind of stopped. But I thought, why not? So we've got my first ever model from EFE Rail, which is this j94 saddle tank engine. It's in the LNER black. And I thought, you know, let's chuck it up. Now, I've never had anything from EFE Rail. The only thing I know about EFE is every single time I watch the quarterly updates of what Bachmann are bringing out, they're there going, hey, have another bus. We've got another bus coming. 10 more buses coming.
Starting with Margot's of Bexley Heath in red.
So I really don't know much about them as a product. And this product, funnily enough, my sister did let me know that she did manage to get it for half price. So it brought it down to around £65. I have checked online, around about £65 you can still get them for, but they do go all the way up to £125, £130. So to save you wait until the end of the video, is it worth £130, £120? Not really. 65 quid? Absolutely. So you get a few little separate parts. You got your vacuum pipes and bits and bobs. I didn't fit them for this review. I was short on time. But as I say, for £65, I think it's fantastic for that. I personally have paid way more for way worse. And maybe that says more about me than it does about the product. But for that sort of price range, what can you really buy? You see a lot of the 00 gauge stuff that's new. Smoky Joe or stuff like that, like really tacky stuff. So yeah, this is pretty good on that front. It's a good looking loco. Nice little details here and there. You're obviously not going to expect huge amounts on N gauge. It's very, very hard to get amazing details on there. Although, to be fair, most of the Bachmann related stuff that I've had has been really, really good. So if you look at any like the train set reviews I've done of the Bachmann stuff, for what you get in a train set, usually it's just, you know, basic locos. Doesn't look like they put a lot of effort into them. But on those train sets, they've been very, very good. But back to this loco. I'm going to review it as a £65 loco because that's what it was. It's very hard to review stuff you didn't pay for. So this is my sort of bugbear with things. It's very hard to have an honest review when you didn't pay for things. You can imagine how you would have felt if you paid it. And that's all I can do. But this is a crawl straight out of the box. So it hadn't been run. I hadn't done a run in either way, usually about 10-15 minutes, or what I normally do. I just wanted to see what it would do straight out of the box. Yeah, pretty good. I've given it a decent load. To pull, nothing massive, and it will handle a lot more. I personally think out of all the choices, this is one of the better ones that you can get. There's, I think, between 8 and 10 different choices. A few of them seem to be sold out at the moment. So now it's had its running in period, and it's to be honest with you, it's right up there with out of any scale I've had, one of the best performers out of the box. And in this day and age, people say, well, you know, you should expect it to just work. But the mad thing is, a lot of stuff in this hobby, it doesn't just work. So this was a good surprise. Very, very good at the lower speeds. I probably could have made it go a little bit slower than this as well. But I wanted to fire this review out and not take over 10 minutes to put out a video of an N-scale loco. Because let's be honest, you got other things that you want to watch. And I tend to reserve that sort of time for my train sets, which sadly I didn't get around to this year. So if you've seen any of my posts recently, you'll understand why. So yeah, it's a very, very good runner. And surprisingly enough, very, very fast. It sort of took me back to the old days of the sort of Hornby 040s in 00 gauge, where you put the controller up like 3/4 of the way and it's whizzing round and you can barely keep up with it. This loco is a little bit like that. It's the quickest of any loco that I own in any wheel configuration. But it's a lovely little loco for that money. This is going to sound quite sort of maybe controversial, but if you could put it out at £65 now, why didn't you launch it at that kind of price? Maybe EFE is really well known and I just don't know enough. I mean, look at it go there. But if you just launched it at sort of, even if you launched it at £70 or £80, but to give it that massive 120 price tag, I think that will put a lot of people off. And maybe that's what's happened, and that's why now everywhere they're half price. Or maybe, as I say, because I know nothing about EFE, maybe I've strike it lucky here. Maybe I've just got a lucky one. Maybe most of their stuff is not very good, or a month down the line I'm going to be complaining that it doesn't run very well. But you can only review things as they are. And if you watch the channel, I'm generally quite positive. I like to be positive with things. I like to think, I spent my money, and I trust them to give me the best product possible. To be honest with you, Model Rail has kind of put a dampener on those sort of thoughts I have. I've generally been a positive person, because I would say most of the stuff I buy is maybe 60-40 split, 60% on the fact of it's not great or could have been better, or sometimes just downright doesn't work. But yeah, it's not a review as such. I just wanted to get this up. They are available. If you can get it for around about £60-65, I think it'd be a brilliant addition to anyone's layout, especially if you see them just sort of crawling around in the background. And let's be honest, there's so many of them still around. Hell, why not?